Hi everyone, I hope you are all doing well. This is Youssef Laaraj and here's a new lesson on how to write a commentary. This lesson is made specifically for students, the cpge classes in Morocco, but it can be useful also for other groups like students taking the baccalaureate in France, who are asked usually in the writing section to discuss a statement in 250 or 300 words, or write an email explaining one's reaction or expressing whether you agree or disagree with a particular point of view. It may be also useful for students studying commentary in different universities in Morocco and elsewhere. The main objectives of this lesson are to understand what is a commentary, why we write it, and how to write it. So you identifying also the structure and the different components of a commentary and the process we go through to make a commentary. Writing a commentary involves different skills like writing, critical thinking, explaining, expressing opinion, and making arguments. So you see that writing commentary is very important and it involves the use of some high-order thinking skills. Now let's define what is a commentary. There are a couple of definitions or aspects or features that can help us understand or make an idea about what is a commentary. So a commentary is a systematic series of explanations and interpretations. Please underline these two words, explanations and interpretations, because I think they're the most important parts or components of commentary, and all what we're going to say is based on these two components. It's an expression of opinion. According to Merriam-Webster, commentary is an expression of opinion. It's a detailed analysis of a text. It's analysis. So the most important word here is analysis. We're going to see later that you don't have all the time to analyze a text. It's an expression that involves views and opinions on a focal article, using your knowledge. So we have views and opinions using your knowledge. So in commentary, you will have to express your opinion, which is your thesis or point of view or position towards a particular question or statement or idea. It involves also interpretation, as we said in the beginning. Interpretation, which is your way of explaining something that is not clear or that is open to different ways of readings or explanations. It's a way through which you show your insight or express your insight, which is showing deep understanding of a material. So in a commentary, you have to show that you're not shallow. You don't have just a superficial understanding. So you should not keep vague and general, but you have to show that you really understand the subject in its different aspects. It involves analysis, which is the examination of a complex in order to find out its different elements and the relationships between them. It involves explanation, and which is, as we said also in the beginning, which is highly important, explanation, which is making something clear and understood. It's a personal reaction, which means you express kind of your feelings towards something. These feelings can be, or this reaction can be favorable or positive or negative. It's an evaluation. So through commentary, you evaluate the work and the worth of its ideas, to what extent they're credible and valid, regardless, of course, whether you agree or disagree. So these are the main features of a commentary. But commentary can be oral and can be written. Most times it is written. However, you can be asked to comment on something orally. Now, why do write commentary? There are a couple of reasons why we need to write a commentary. One of them is to explain something, as we said in the beginning, something that is vague or that is complex. You need to explain it to to people with different knowledge, different linguistic abilities, to express your opinion. When there is something that provokes your reaction, you want to express your opinion in regards. We comment usually on something that we have to say about, and that's why you find comments as an option or a button in most websites in the social media, because people feel the need or the urge to express their opinion, their reaction to what people have posted or post. We write commentary to give our interpretation, which is our explanation of something that is not clear. Now we comment on what? In principle, you can comment on anything. You can comment on a text or on a movie, on a picture, whatsoever. You can comment even on behaviors and actions. But for separate students, or let's say students, as I said in the beginning, taking the French baccalaureate, they usually have to comment on an article, which is an opinion expressed in or illustrated or stated in a page or two, and usually this article is taken from a prominent website or newspaper. You comment on a picture and poster, and this is also common. And you comment on picture or poster which is having meaning, something that is rich, there are a lot of ideas to say. That's why people usually debate or comment on works of art. We comment also on quote, and this is very common, on statements or sayings by different people, especially celebrities or legends, leaders. The structure of a commentary, and this is highly important. So first, let's bear in mind that a commentary, especially for separate students, must be one paragraph only. And this paragraph is made of the following elements or the following steps. First, you have to present the source. As I said in the beginning, the source can be an article, it can be a quote, it can be a picture. Usually there is a reference. There are some ideas, some details or information about this. So you have to state them, like the title, the author, or the artist or whoever created this work. You also present the context in which this idea, this invention, or this philosophy or the theory has emerged. You state the main idea of the work or the statement, and then explain and discuss the main idea or the message of the author. These three elements, until now, they make up a first part. Until now, you're being distant from your commentary. Until now, you didn't interfere. You just presented the work, stated the main idea, and explained, like dismantled the different aspects of this work. After that, you state your opinion explicitly in a very direct way. In my opinion, I believe, as far as I'm concerned, And this statement of your opinion makes a kind of transition from the first part to a second part. After stating your opinion, you support your opinion with whatever reasons and arguments that you find useful to support. And you can use quotes, you can use examples, facts, and explanations. So here you went deep down into explaining your belief. In the end, you summarize your analysis of the content. This is the second part. So virtually, this one paragraph is divided into two parts. Virtually, I say, because it's one paragraph. In the first part, you are being very objective. But the second part, you are subjective. In the first part, you are distant. You keep yourself distant. You're away from interfering in the ideas. And in the second part, you are involved. You get involved. You say, it's you there. How to go about it? Now, the process of writing a commentary goes as follows. First, try to read well to understand the material. Identify the main idea and claim. Highlight the important keywords that help you to dismantle and explain the idea. Try to read between the lines what the author wants to convey, the message is trying to make. Now, decide on your position. Make a statement that explains or summarizes your opinion. Clearly state what is your opinion. Do you agree or disagree? To what extent you agree or disagree? And this marks, as we said, a transition from the first explanatory part to the second commentary part. Find arguments. Here you have three dots, which means any types of arguments. An explanation is an argument. Example is an argument, a fact, research, whatever. Summarize your opinion to make it closure. Now, here are some rules or some ideas you have to keep in mind. Respect the layout, which means the order, the sequence of ideas, and the structure of the commentary. Use quotes and examples. You can use quotes from the text that you're dealing with, or you can use quotes from other readings and other materials. Make your commentary presentable, and you make it presentable by being very coherent and sticking to the main idea, keeping yourself to the point. So unity and coherence are important criteria in this. Don't just give information from the text. This is commentary, not another summary. There is a lesson on summary that I have made. You can watch in this channel, but it's a bit different from commentary. In a summary, you just state what the author says, but in a commentary, after a few sentences explaining or summarizing what someone says, you move to state your opinion, your belief, and you try to defend with strong reasons. Don't feel you have to agree wholeheartedly with the writer. You don't have just to agree. Sometimes you can just find it easy to say I agree or I completely agree. I mean, you don't have to agree. But if you do, give your presentation a personal touch by including arguments and knowledge of your own. Show that you expand on these questions or issues, which means that you can use information from your own sources. Maybe you have read, maybe you've watched, maybe you know someone has undergone the same circumstances. So here try to expand your ideas and show the examiner that you really have some significant knowledge about this issue. So here are the references I've used to make up this short tutorial. Thank you very much for watching, and I welcome your questions, your comments, and remarks about this. Also, don't forget to like the video, of course, if you like it, and share it with people whom you think it will be beneficial. Thank you very much.